Hey, Aaron.
They do make you right.
All right. Yes. And what about you?
Yes, back here again.
Yes. And we said we would do something different today. Instead of looking
Yes,
at your games, analyzing some of your games, you came up with the very good idea to do some exercises. And of course, I've told you many times there's no substitute for exercise. You can never do enough exercises. Now we're doing them in a session. Let me share my screen. Okay. You came up with these ideas, a number of mate in one exercises, mate in two, go through the tactical motifs, double attack, remove the defender, pin the skewer, discover attack and tempo moves, and then mix them up
yeah,
so that you don't, like in a game, you don't know which tactic is there.
yeah.
Um, you okay with this as an agenda?
Yes, Rick.
White to play um, and checkmate in one move. Sorry, I have to flip the board to see it from white's perspective. So the pawn is going that way. Um, that way. So white to play and checkmate in one.
I would say, oh man. Um, Straight away my mind went to E7, which you can't. So you can't go there. Oh, man. Um, okay, so he can't go to E7, and he can't go to D7, and he can't go to D8, but and he can't go to F. Okay, let's go for pawn to F7, please.
Pawn f7. Checkmate. Exactly.
Nice.
Checkmate. Checkmate
You
with
know
a
what?
pawn is always nice.
Yeah, my mind was going for the queen to be the move.
Yeah, queen e7 is the most. You did that because of pattern recognition. You had seen these many times before with a pawn protecting the queen. So that's the first thing you
Yeah.
look at. But oops, there's a bishop. Um, yeah. So yeah, it's an unusual checkmate, f7, but you found it. Well done.
Yes.
Let's look at this one. Almost same position, but now we have a rook on f8 instead of the bishop.
Uh, Queen to E7.
Now queen e7 does work, but there's no bishop. And
Nice.
does f7 also work here, pawn f7?
No,
Because
the rook takes.
because the rook takes. It was a bishop before, but now it's a rook, so he takes, and suddenly black is winning with his extra material.
Yeah.
We don't want that. Okay, well done. Queen e7. What about this one? Now the rook has teleported to f7.
Yeah. Can I have Queen to C8, please?
Queen c8 is now checkmate because now the rook is in the way of the king. The king has no
Yeah.
flight square. Exactly. Okay. That was a little trilogy, and now we have another trilogy. White to play, mate in one.
Can I have Queen to B5, please?
Queen b5 is checkmate. Yes, nicely supported by the pawn. Okay,
Nice.
and this is almost the same, but not quite.
Can I have Queen to C3, please?
You can. And before I put it on the board, is it really checkmate? You check with you.
Right. So the king cannot go to A6, and he cannot go to B6. Cannot go to B5 because the pawn.
Uh-huh.
And then if I put it, but the only square that is available is, well, it's not in check, but B4. So if I move it to C3, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. So to get out of check, there's three options. You can either flee with the king, you can take the piece that is giving check, or you can interpose something. So after queen c3, is any of those options available? You just mentioned
Oh
the
yeah,
king cannot
queen
come,
can go, the queen can go to B4.
queen b4, and That is, so it's not checkmate. So oops.
That changes
try
my
again.
plan. Right. D2. The same thing,
Yeah. Queen
but
b4.
D2. Oh yeah, same thing.
Yeah. Queen b4.
Okay, let's go the other way. B6.
Queen b6. Exactly. Yeah, that is checkmate. And why was Queen b6 not in the previous one? Queen b6. Why was that not a solution here in the previous?
Oh yeah. Because the queen on E3 can take.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why it had to be Queen b5. And in this one, Queen b5 is not possible because the bishop is looking at b5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And the third one in this queen, the white pieces are in the same position. The black king is in the same position, but there's a different checkmate here.
Right. So the king can't go to A6 or B6 or B yeah, B5. So if I go to well, can I do my thing now? C3.
Queen c3. Yes, now it works because in the previous position, the queen was on e7
Yeah.
and was able to interpose, but now queen is on e6, and now this is checkmate indeed. And what about your queen d2 move that you mentioned in the previous one? Does that work here as well?
No, because the bishop on H6.
Exactly. Lurking in the distance. Let's not go
Yeah.
to d2 because we're going to lose. So queen c3, mate in one. Okay, well done. But maybe we'll keep going with mate in ones for a while. Black to mate in one here.
Queen to E2.
Queen e2.
Because
Nothing else to talk.
I did this checkmate in my game, so I remember it.
Yeah, there you go. Pattern recognition. That's all what chess is really. Well, not true. Mate in one for white.
Bishop to D4, please.
Bishop d4. Yeah, and the knight is nicely taking that square away, and his pawn is in the way as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about this one?
Right. So, okay. Can I have the rook to H8, please?
Rook h8. Checkmate. Yeah.
Yeah.
The classic checkmate with the two rooks. But in this case, we need a knight as well to make sure that rook is protected.
Nice.
Otherwise, the king would take it off. Yeah. Well done. Black to checkmate white here.
Okay. Can I have queen to G4, please?
Queen g4. Checkmate. Yes.
Yeah. I'd done this to someone in a game last week.
Oh. Yeah. Queen h5 also checkmate?
Queen H5 checkmate. H5. Yes.
Have another look. Is it really checkmate?
Oh no, the bishop interposes.
Yeah, bishop can interpose. So you are right, it has to be g4. What about queen g2? Is that also checkmate?
No, because the king can go to H4.
Yeah, the king can escape. Yeah, exactly. So you're 100% right. My suggestions were rubbish. Queen g4 is the only checkmating move. The knight doing a great job protecting the queen and taking g2 away.
Yeah.
Black to play.
It's the same as that other one, so it's Knight to H3.
Knight to H3 is checkmate. Beautiful checkmate with bishop and knight.
Yeah.
This is, in chess, you want to have your pieces helping each other, coordinating together. That is really important. And this is a very good example of how two pieces work together beautifully.
No, yeah.
Yeah, how beautiful is this? Bishop takes those away, and the knight takes those squares away. Really completely using their potential, those two pieces, helping each other. It's often that you have the bishop and knight on the same color square. They usually help each other very well because the knight will then control dark squares and the bishop will control light squares.
And if I could just add, like, this is how much chess I've been watching. You know where how the bishop and the knight is. Straight away, I thought if only I could get a pawn on G2 supported by something, it's a fork. Like that's what, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it wouldn't work here, but if like these, for example, if the bishop was on D6 and the knight was on F6, if only I could get a pawn to E5 forking, because my mind is just seeing more things.
yeah, well, exactly, and that's exactly it. Those are all very good signs that you start to see those things. You see
Yeah,
two pieces lined up like this. Oh, if I only had a pawn on G2, I would win one of them. Yeah,
yeah.
okay. Before we leave it, let me get rid of my arrows. Is knight F2, in the starting position? Is knight E2 also checkmate?
No, because the king can go to F2.
Exactly. Yeah, there's only one solution. This looks checkmate, but no, it isn't. King as a square. Okay. Gonna play a little game for you.
Yep.
Your favorite opening: E4, E5, knight F3, knight C6, bishop C4. You've played this all many times. Knight D4. Playing with the same piece twice. But there's a little trick. It looks like we can take that pawn. And we're attacking F7 now with two pieces.
Yep.
And then black plays queen G5. It becomes crazy. And suddenly black is threatening the knight and is threatening the pawn. And now white says, I don't care. I take on F7. Attacking the rook, which is in the corner. Queen takes G2. Attacking the rook on H1. So white plays it like this. Queen takes E4 check. And white says, okay, I can interpose my bishop. And now we're looking for mate in one.
Okay, so it's smothered. So let's go for no take. Okay, oh yeah, there's a pin as well. So let's go for knight to F3, please.
Knight F3, checkmate. Yes. Checkmate with a knight. And as you said, the bishop is pinned. Yeah, so crazy game.
Rick, I'll be honest, like for me to see that is pretty cool because like I'm not just riding my BMX, I'm riding my BMX and then like twirling the handlebars and landing now, or I'm on my BMX and I'm flipping the whole bike now. Do you know what I mean? Like to see a pin as well, like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely. Well done. Now we'll do a few more of these and then we'll move on to the next topic. Got a nice flow going here. White to play.
Oh, brilliant! The pin again. So if we have rook to A6, please.
Lovely. Yeah, how can this be checkmate? Well, a pinned piece is a bad defender. I'm sure we talked about that before.
Yeah, in one of my games that you went over, you see, when I first was going over our games, we were just looking. It was like, okay, we've done it. Oh, I've gone over it, but now it's running now. So there was I couldn't. You said to me, there's a piece hanging, and I couldn't see. But the bishop was pinning my pawn to the king. So when the queen took my bishop. I couldn't take back, and that's when the heavens opened up and the curtains opened up, and that's when I realised pins are a real thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Pins are using pins is very powerful, and that's also why you don't want to have your own pieces pinned. You know, if you can choose, if you have a black rook on d8 and your queen is on d1, and there's all sorts of stuff in between. But then it would be wise to move your queen away from that line if at all possible, or if it makes sense. Just get out of a potential pin. It happens a lot.
Yeah.
Of course, there's always exceptions, but in general, it's good to get out of potential pins before they can happen because they're very powerful. Okay, board full of pieces. King in the center of the board. Mate in one.
Okay. Conga there. Conga there. Conga there. Conga there. So that means it just has to be put into check. So let's go for queen to g1.
Queen g1. Is it really checkmate? It's close, but not quite.
Oh, because the queen can intervene.
Yeah. Yes.
Man. Okay, no problem. Let's go for. Okay, let's go for pawn to e3. Oh, no, queen can take.
Queen takes it. Yeah, same problem.
Okay, all right. Okay, let's go for. So the rook's there. So if we can only move the knight, if we move the knight to e3, oh no, then he takes. Unless there's a double. Oh.
This is not easy.
And then I saw the bishop to f2, but then that's the same problem there. Right, so the king cannot go to e5 because of the king. It cannot go to e3 and it cannot go to c3. And it can't take and it can't take and it can't take. So I just have to put it in check. So if we go for. It upsets me that I can't get it.
No, but it's not easy. So don't be upset because it's not easy. It's a move with the queen. Ah, sorry. Did you see
That's
that?
right. Yeah, it's fine. So that's fine. So you know how I said G2, sorry, G1.
Yeah.
I was on the right side of thinking, but I just went the wrong way. So my theory was it's in it can't go anywhere. It just needs to be put into check.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I've had you've given me this as a warm up before, I remember it.
Yeah, I think I also remember that we did this one before. Anyway, it's but yeah, I like this one, even though it's not a very natural position, but it's a long queen move is always good to spot. They're not so easy to spot, those long moves.
These checkmates in ones are no joke.
No, they aren't.
They're tough.
Yeah. Well, you're doing really well. This was tough. Let's see. It's not nice to finish off one where you didn't get it. So let's look
Yeah.
at this position, and it's
White to move.
white to move.
Okay, so I'm looking at pawn to b4, but before I say, I need to see, can he go there? No. Can he take? No. Can he go there? Yes. Okay. Queen to c5.
Lovely. Yes. Yeah. Very well done, Aran. And I guess b4 is not checkmate, as you rightly saw. You have king b5. That's a safe square. Do you know another way to get out of to make another move that black has here?
So, CPR, so you can capture it, which they can't capture it here. protecting and run away. So I said b5. There's
Yeah,
another
king.
way out. Yeah, so
Yeah.
is there another way out?
Yeah, that's my question.
Yeah. So can he capture it? No.
Do you remember this special rule that doesn't happen that often in chess, but sometimes it happens with
En
pawns?
passant.
Yes.
Yeah. So
How does it work here?
okay. So that means a4 can go to b3.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
it's on the black who's winning this game of chess, because after the only legal move, king b2, how does black now checkmate white? In 2 moves?
So the first move would be queen to c2,
Yeah. King a1 only move.
and then it would be queen to c1.
Queen c1. And another checkmating square is where?
Queen to a2.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So then it's only black wins. So b4 is a big blunder because of a takes b3 check. But as you rightly said, queen c5 is the solution.
Nice.
Okay. Now we did 15 of these, and you did really, really well. Will we move to mate in 2?
Yes, please.
All right.